Hello, good morning. Welcome to Tiki Hut Treasures. I have done a thing. I made a mold of a cross, and crosses aren't typically something that I design, so this is new for me. A little nerve-wracking. This is my first crystal mold of a cross that I've done. I did one other like trinket tray, and that was very nice. Maybe I should pour that also so you can see that one, because I don't believe I have done a video on it. And okay, and this is that one. I know they're not beautiful. My molds are not professionally made. They're just done by me. So I've poured this one a couple of times already, and it always turns out beautiful. It always turns out beautiful. I've poured it a few times actually, and I really, really love it. So the way the crystal molds look best usually is by pouring them with like an alcohol ink or pouring them crystal clear. I don't want this necessarily crystal clear. I think the cross I'm going to make crystal clear. So I'm going to do that. It also has a stand because the mold that I used initially to form it has a little circular base. So I will pour that as well. But without further ado, I've also made this phone stand. So I will pour that while I'm pouring. All right, so these bottles aren't big enough. I'm gonna go get my gloves on, get a bigger bottle, and decide what colors I'm gonna use for this tray. And then I will be back with you. Okay. So what I decided to do was to add in the very smallest amount of this Mateo interference powder, and it's called Ghost Sapphire. So it just had a little hint of blue. I don't know if you can see it in the base that I poured, but I did pour the base. I've now put the rest of the resin through the vacuum chamber, and it has much less bubbles, just a few surface bubbles now. So I'm gonna pour the cross first. All right, so I'm just going to start pouring here and just let it make its own way. All right, let me see. Okay, and then we're gonna check and see. I didn't want to spray right on the crystals, but do want to make sure I got in all the big crystals. There's a bubble came out. Sorry if you're seeing my head. I'm going to use those in a minute. Yep, bubble just came out. Until you pour it the first time, you don't know where all your bubbles would be. I know which crystals had silicone go under them a little, so that's why I knew that I should at least check. Let's finish pouring it. I don't want to overfill it. I just want to fill it to the top there. I don't want to dome this mold because it's handmade. Then with this crystal mold, I'm going to put a little bit of blue and a little bit of green. then I'm gonna pour this, and hopefully it looks nice. Doesn't look like anything is going down this side. Looks like I'm gonna need more resin, but at least if I got this started, then I can get some more resin. All right, let me get a little bit more resin and I will finish this and we'll see how the colors play. Okay, we are back and I did find my silicone tool. I have 5,000 silicone tools until I need them, and then apparently I have 0. All right, so I've debubbled this and I added the interference powder again so I can add this back to the tray. Oh, it really fogged it up now. It looks really pretty. Under the lip and make sure there's no bubbles. I made this with a see-through enough silicone so that I could see the bubbles because I knew it has a crosshatch pattern along the bottom here, and I knew that that would hold some bubbles. So. All right. That is going to do it for that one. I do want to put just the smallest smidge more in this. A smidge. That is not a scientific measurement. All right, and then I should have enough for starting this foam holder, but what I actually want to do with it is fill it with these stones. So I assume I'm gonna need another layer of resin, but what I'll do is I'll just put 1 hour fast cure on the bottom of this once it has gelled up good. I will add a few more stones and then a little bit more epoxy, and that should be a beautiful phone holder. Gonna want more. All right, I'm gonna get some clear resin so I can water that down a little bit, put some more stones in, and that is it. So hopefully I will bring you back when it's ready to demold all of these things. I'm excited about my homemade trays. So let's see how it goes, and I'll bring you back for demold. All right, So we are back, and these have cured and cooled down. I am excited. Let's do the phone holder first. Oh, it's a little warm still, but oh, wow. So what I made a mold of was actually a piece of wood, and then I made the mold, but it wasn't shiny. So then I added silicone to just make it a shiny surface, right? So it is a shiny surface. It's beautiful. Now the rocks have made it a little not flat, I guess. So I can dome it just to make it shine even better. But those stones actually really came out well. I am so pleasantly surprised. I knew I had used a lot of interference powder, so I mixed it with straight clear, took it out of the mold, mixed it all up again, and then put it back in the mold so that it could show the colors of the actual stones, because they are amazing. So I hope that comes through. Okay. So let's do my cross. I loosened it a little. I am so nervous. Oh, well, the sides. So what I molded. Oh, I got resin on this now. I have to clean off. Great. What I molded was not shiny on the sides. It was a matte mold. And I thought it was going to be good, but see, even just those little imperfections came through on the mold. So I'm going to have to recast it. Well, I'm going to have to remold it, actually. Oh, well, actually, hold on. Let me show you the front. Let me rip it off because I got fingerprints on it. Oh, wow. Hold on. Okay. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not an into resin mold, you know, like they do it perfectly, but I am really happy. Somehow I'm going to fix this up. So other than the colors in this is really shiny. I wanted this one to come through just as much. I think it does very well, but it's not perfect. I do like the Aurora powder, interference powder, though, in it. I think that's really great. I think it's almost like angelic, you know? And then it would fit right in this base. So, okay. This is my other handmade mold. This is just a crystal tray. Now, I check my trays first for bubbles. So I just go around and check the edges. Because if there's a bubble, there was a bubble in my silicone, I guess, because it caused a puffy here. Because if there's a bubble on this, I can fix it. So there's a bubble here. So I'm not going to pull this out yet. I am going to mix up some 1 hour fast cure, and I'm going to dip it in these holes where there's bubbles. I prefer to do that than to do what some people do, which is pull it out and then fill it with UV resin. I think that's okay. No bubbles here. There's a couple of bubbles here. So I'll do the 1 hour here as well. one right here. I thought I was pretty good with my bubbles, but, and then, so the trick is to not pull it out at all from your mold, so. Maybe one right there. Okay, so I'm gonna mix up some 1 hour fast cure. I'm gonna put it all across the bottom here because it could use a fill-in anyway. And then I will make sure that it gets in those little teeny tiny holes. And then we will demold it and it will be hopefully a perfect piece. But I have not budged it from the sides because I don't want to dull my sides at all. I want to leave it in the mold completely except for this little lip that I have pulled up, okay? So let me show you how that works. Okay. So I already poured a little bit on here, but I wanted to show you how I actually get it in the holes and stuff. So I just take my lip and I push some of the resin down here. And then I just take my little toothpick, cocktail stick, whatever you call it. And I make sure that it gets in the actual holes. It's hard, but I feel like it gives me a better finish than if I did the UV resin. So just to give it a full, make sure everything is even. I just go ahead and coat the whole thing with it though. And then I try to just check the places where I knew that there were bubbles. Right there. Mostly just putting it in here helps a lot. I do this with a lot of my jars that have lips, and it always gives me a better surface. With 1 hour fast cure, sometimes you get those little micro bubbles, but I would rather that than those big gaping holes I just had. This will smooth all out against my mold as the mold passes back over it. There's another big hole. Take my cocktail stick and get the bubble out of it. Ava, no one is listening to you. Stop screaming. My parrot is so noisy some days. Some days she's perfectly quiet, and then all of a sudden decide to make a video, and that's when, because she hears me talking, so she wants to talk back, and there's just nothing I can do about that. So if I put it on studio sound and I edit her out, the rest of the sound sounds so weird for the video. So okay, so that is that. Now I just squeeze it and take my little finger and rub and just make sure I have a seal again. Yep, just like that. I'm just taking that extra second, or extra 10 seconds can be the difference between a homemade looking project and a store-bought looking project. So, all right, I'm going to finish covering this piece so that it has a perfect edge, a perfect bottom, I should say. And then when it gets sticky, I will try to catch it. I'm gonna heat gun this real quick. And then when it gets really sticky, I'm gonna try and catch it and then put in 4 glass feet. I always try and put glass feet on my projects to finish them off and make sure that they don't stick to anyone's glass tables or whatever, because that will happen. All right, I'm gonna leave it be. I think the alcohol hit any other little bubbles, so I'm gonna actually just be patient and let it be. The 1 hour fast cure is not good for doming, so I will use tabletop to dome this whenever I bring out my tabletop next. That is it till we demold this and I figure out what I'm gonna do with the cross, how I'm gonna fix it up. Okay, sorry for the noise. My husband is watching TV, but I wanted to unmold this real quick so that I could get this out because I really want to see it myself. So let's unmold this. You have to be careful so you don't rip the lip now that the resin is above it and under it. So you just want to be really careful because I don't want to ruin my mold. Little overage, okay. That's okay. All right. Are you ready? Oh my God, look at the shine. Look at the shine. Okay, so first let's check. So I will just clip off these, easy peasy, these little overages. Alright, let's see. Almost, sorry. Just want to get this so we can check for those bubbles that I fixed, right? Okay. So now we had a bubble here, then it is literally gone. Bubble here that's gone. I don't feel any bubbles now. Zero. See how beautiful? And it literally took less time than if I had had to go over it all with UV resin. Okay, so let's see. Oh my God, it's so pretty. It is so pretty. I actually think the interference powder dulled it down a little bit because I have shinier ones of it, but the way it looks on the sides, I've never seen. This is amazing. Amazing. Okay. So you see, nothing got ruined by putting the resin in here to fix the bubbles. It didn't ruin my sides at all. They are still beautiful, shiny, soft. So I didn't catch it to put the feet on, so I'll just glue the 4 feet on after. But that is my homemade mold. And now I've just put the little pieces I just cut off in my mold. That was dumb. But that is my trinket tray that I made myself. I love this. So I'm going to send this to my mother because she was looking for something in blues and greens. So, and I think the sides are so beautiful that even if she puts stuff in it, it's worth it. So I also made a mold of a amethyst, and I just wanted the druzy part of it for another project. So I just poured some resin, just shallow in it, just so I could get the druzy crystal part. And I did it also in the interference powder. And that was just from an amethyst that I molded. So now I have this for another project. I'm gonna do it on a tray, so it'll be actually probably in a corner of a tray. So yay! Okay, so it's a very successful day. This was the goal, so I'm very happy with it, and I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later.